Super excited to introduce you to the prisonprofessors.org website. It is a brand new website that I've been working on with the great team at Buena Agency for longer than 4 months. They've been just really extraordinarily helpful in helping me rethink our brand and rethink the different ways that we could contribute to making an impact on the world. But it's such a big site and there's so much content that people say, I don't know where to start. I'm overwhelmed with so much information, and that's understandable. Sometimes I tell the story of my wife, Carol. She's a registered nurse. She's got a master's degree in nursing, and I frequently will say, anybody could have done what Carol did. They could have went and read the same books and read everything possible that she did and took, did the writing exams, but that doesn't necessarily make them a nurse. Well, it's the same thing about getting ready for prison. You could read and study and read, but prison is a very different environment. And it's different from anything you've ever experienced anywhere in the United States being confined. I would frequently say that it is close, the prison experience is as close to living in communism, at least as I understood communism and listening to it from my father, who escaped from Cuba as soon as the island turned communistic. Because what was communism like? Well, the government controlled everything. It told you where you could work, where you could live, what you could eat, with whom you could associate, right? That's very different from America. But in prison, that's what it's like. In prison, the system itself, the institution is above everything else. It's above the individual. They will tell you what you're going to eat, when you're going to eat, where you can sleep, when you can sleep. If you're sick, they will tell you, okay, you can go to the doctor in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. They control everything. As David Rothman, a professor from Columbia that I studied while I was in prison, wrote, it is a total institution. And as a total institution, the system controls everything, but your job is to succeed anyway. And at prisonprofessors.org, the nonprofit, I wanted to provide you with examples that will show you what you can do. What you've got to expect is that the system is going to give you a lot of objections and difficulties and challenge while you're living in that environment, and they're sharing with you what you're supposed to wear and how you're supposed to think, right? You've got to be able to say, no, not me. I'm going to I may come in here with an orange jumpsuit, but I'm going to leave here as the CEO of my life, capable of doing whatever I want to do. It was really that mindset that pushed me through multiple decades in prison, always focusing on how I'm going to come out. How can I be more successful? How can I use my time in here to prepare? And you could spend all day on this website because I produce content every single day. And I just want to give you like a little tutorial on how you could use the site. So if you come up here to courses, you're going to see our books, for example. And this site is still very much in development. I'm going to continue developing it, but you will see we publish daily journals every day. And there's a reason that I publish these daily journals, because if you're in prison, you sometimes can lose focus and you may not know, what am I going to write about today? What am I going to do today? So we publish these every single month, a brand new daily journal, volume 1. You'll see volume 2. This is from February. We're at the end of March 2025 as I'm filming this video, and there will soon be volume 3 that's coming out. But in addition to that, you've got the digital economy. That's another self-directed workbook and course with hopes of helping people who are incarcerated understand how they can learn a little bit more about the digital economy and cryptocurrency and artificial intelligence. So we try to create these courses that will bring the outside world into people in prison. Preparing for Success After Prison, this is a self-directed workbook, which is actually a program in many prisons, including every state prison in California and every federal prison. This workbook, people who qualify for First Step Act credits can participate in this class if it's at their federal prison, and as long as the system already has implemented it, they can qualify to get either time credits in federal prison or in state prisons milestone credits. Earning Freedom, Conquering a 45-Year Sentence. I wouldn't call this part of our self-directed course, but it is the story that tells, brings students this insight from the day of my arrest on August the 11th, 1987, until the day I concluded my obligation to the Bureau of Prisons on August the 12th, 2013. And there's a bit of an epilogue that kind of talks about how I built a career, despite going through 9,500 days in prison. How was I able to build a career that could lead to multiple income streams? And at this stage in my journey, where I can now commit all of my time to the nonprofit and making an impact on the lives of other people. All these videos, I always make these 3 promises. 1, I'm never going to ask you to do anything that I didn't do, and you'll learn about that in Earning Freedom. 2, I'm never going to lie to you. I'll always be truthful about what I am doing and why. And 3, nobody's ever going to have to pay me a penny for any of the advice I dispense through prisonprofessors.org. I would encourage you to look at these self-directed courses, including Prison, my 8,344th day, which provides the strategies for getting through a single day. As the caption here says, I was inspired by Alexander Solzhenitsyn, who wrote A Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich, and it prompted me to want to write, okay, well, let me show you what it's like to get through prison, a single day in prison in the United States, in a federal prison. And this was during my 23rd year of incarceration. Success After Prison is another self-directed workbook where I'm trying to help people understand the relationship between the decisions that you make once you go into the system and your prospects for success on the other side of the journey. All of our courses follow these principles that we teach, which is identified in another course called the Straight A Guide. You could read about it through our course. You could read about who we serve. We try to serve people who are going into the system. We try to serve correctional facilities, lawyers, and law firms to help them understand how to take people off of this spinning cycle of struggle when they're going into the system and help them see what they can become. We serve family and friends of people who are going into the system, because it's not only one individual, it's also, all the people they love and the people who love them that are also going through these journeys. So our courses really help people see that, get that information. Regardless, we try to provide that information through books, through videos, through podcasts. All of it is under the brand of Prison Professors, but the .org website, prisonprofessors.org, is a nonprofit. Nobody has to pay me for what I do. I've earned enough money through my career and in other ventures that this is like a ministry for me to try and help people learn how to self-advocate and help themselves. The website also shows the different places where we try to influence change, including in universities, businesses, prisons. We have these masterclass courses that we offer to try and keep people who are incarcerated learning and developing. All of this is part of our advocacy efforts, because ultimately what we're trying to do is change America's prison system so that more people have an opportunity to work toward earning freedom through merit rather than just through the turning of calendar pages. We want to have a mechanism that will incentivize a pursuit of excellence. And in order to do that, we've got to have a really wide net. We got to cast a really wide net where we're getting universities to try and change the way they teach about prisons and inspire university students to become interns with us and help us spread this message. We want businesses to understand that people who go through these courses and really focus on success might be a great candidate for employment. We want to help prison administrators develop tools that they can use to teach and inspire people in prison. And that's an everyday effort. So that's some of the ways that we try to contribute. Under this other section up here on the main menu, you'll see who we serve. And we serve a lot of different groups, including prisons and jails, justice-impacted people who are going through the system. We try to provide information they could use in a self-directed way. We want to deal with media and social influencers, trying to help them understand the role they have in changing the way America's prison system works. And I feature on here some of the social media sites that have used us, including the Million Stories group they have a program called Face Plant, and they featured me on that program. So I got to share with them the strategies of how an adjustment in prison led to success on the other side. I show a PBS NewsHour compilation together with NBC News, which you can see just by clicking these links here. And one of the ones I'm most proud of is recently I participated in the Soft White Underbelly, a social media site that reaches tens of millions of people around the world. So, but it's super important for us to try and connect with journalists and social influencers, because we're striving to do what? To be the change we want to see. And as a nonprofit, we're always really focused on making an impact, on creating a pathway for anybody who's going through the system to understand what can they do differently. And I said I never ask anybody to do anything I didn't do, which is the reason up here we have the founders lesson, and you've got the influencers page. And if you scroll down here, you'll get to see all these people who influenced me through the journey. And if you go down way to the bottom, you'll see this era. Like in the beginning, it was the Bible when I was in a solitary cell. And then my family, particularly my sister Julie and my younger sister Christina. But really, my sisters had to bear the brunt of me being in prison, and they were such an instrumental role in helping me through the journey. Then there were some officers, Officer Wilson, who introduced me to different books that changed the way I thought, such as Socrates and Plato's Republic. I learned about him, or the biography of Frederick Douglass. And then starting to read more about philosophers and the Stoics and even the French philosophers and leaders from society as well. So all of these and you can click on any of these links here, and you'll read the story about what I wrote. So in the Founders section, I'm trying to show people that I never asked them to do anything I didn't do. They can click on the daily blogs and see that every day, today in fact is March the 29th, and you can see there's my blog from today, yesterday, the day before. You can scroll back all the way to the beginning of when I started building this site, and all the different ways that I am using to change, to help people inside understand how to transform their life. You can see on there, I think I also have in there accountability metrics, where I'm showing them how I still hold myself accountable. And you can just click on these links and see the different ways that I make money and finance, how I set goals through trading stocks or investing in Bitcoin. You can see the books that I am reviewing and learning along the way. So all of this website is really designed to give people hope. And you can see if you scroll down on the homepage, it kind of shows this horizontal scroll. You keep scrolling, it just shows the journey along the way. And then, the different ways that I've contributed to society with different presentations in Silicon Valley or at organizations, other nonprofits like Pioneer Industries, or companies like we did here. All of these are videos that anybody can see, universities. And then you will also see down here our amazing team, the people that inspired me along the way and what role they have in the organization. Now, I haven't built this section yet, but every one of these you can open up and see all of these amazing people like Bill McGlashan, who is the founder of TPG Growth and played an influential role in many multi-billion-dollar companies such as Airbnb and Uber and Spotify, and so many of American companies as a great venture capitalist. And now he's also one of the world's renowned impact investors, and we're super proud that he's a board member. Peter Harden, a former U.S. attorney. Augustin Junius, a world-class executive that is the founder of Junius Ventures and the CEO, I think, of Junius Ventures. But also he's brought numerous incredible brands to market, including Estancia Wines and Faust, and had a role in just many different wine groups. My partner, Justin Paperny, who is one of the first founders of our nonprofit. Tulio Cardozo, a former person who served time in prison that leads our IT and has been incredibly helpful to me. Roman Resurreccion, a young man who served time in prison and now really develops our prison professionals talent component. Jonathan Roter, who is our graphic designer, my very good friend and mentor, Greg Reyes, a world-class CEO, billionaire, who's just taught me an incredible amount. Jerry Lundergan, another billionaire leader, CEO of businesses, who helps me develop programs to teach and inspire people in prison. Chris Leszewski, former CEO of Bumblebee Seafoods, world-class leader who is a mentor of mine and a great influence as I try to build this group. Lee Nobham, one of my closest friends who built a billion-dollar company and has been an incredible source of support as we've built our nonprofit. And of course, my friend CZ, founder of Binance, the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, and just an incredible philanthropist who's provided resources that allowed us to build our nonprofit. Tyler Dorsey, who's an advisor to me on developing technology and really working to develop our nonprofit. So this website here is really just something that I am super proud of. I would encourage you to look through it because it will show you if a guy who went through 26 years in federal prison can come out and lead a life of meaning and relevance and dignity. I know that you can get through this too. And wherever you're watching this video, whether it's at home or you're inside of a prison, always remember what I learned from CZ, and that is that there are always more opportunities in the future than there are in the past. My name is Michael Santos. I am the founder of Prison Professors. I believe in you. Be cool.